Hello, children. Welcome to the complex. You know, we have a large diversity of people around this complex, and they come from all genders, age groups, as well as sexual orientations. We have a high tolerance for acceptance, and we think that everybody should be treated equally. We think it will lead to a little bit more of a progressive planet.
Hey, Mr. Moore, what are you talking about today?
Oh, look, it's that weird-ass giraffe that I never invited in again.
I'm actually a zebra, Mr. Moore. I'm rather offended that you don't know this by now. I've been your tenant and neighbor for nearly 9 years at this point.
You're probably the only person that I have literally no respect for.
It's very hateful and ignorant to both the giraffe and zebra communities.
No, that's not it. I love giraffes, I love zebras, but I don't believe that you're either one of those things. You sell airbrush t-shirts at the flea market, and you drink more almond milk than is reasonable.
But what is this supposed to mean?
And there's a scent about you.
Oh, I'm appalled.
It's noticeable.
Oh my God. This is ignorant and closed-minded hate speech.
Haha, all but a charade, my friend. Just an example to show our viewers the effects that intolerance has on a society.
I should say so.
You know how I feel about you, little buddy.
Yeah?
I even got you this present.
Is that right? Oh
Yep.
my. What? What is that? What is the siren?
What?
What's the siren?
I don't know. It could be Magic Imagination Fantasyland?
You think that's wrong?
Magic Hat Fantasy?
No, it's wrong again. The siren just keeps going off. What is
Magical.
What do we do? That's wrong. Just find the remote. Find the
I don't
remote.
know where it is.
What is this? What's going on?
Oh, Mr. Moore.
Who is this, Mr. Moore? I've been to Magic Fantasy Imagination Puppet Land before, but I've never seen this lady before.
Hey, this is Bunny. I met him last night at the Drunken Sparrow. I told him to come on the show today. Talk to us about diversity and sexual identity.
Oh no, you were drinking again, Mr. Moore. You said him, and it's clearly a her. Can't you see those pretty clothes?
Actually, Mr. Moore is correct. I am a man who performs to dress up and perform as an elegant lady.
Oh my. I don't know how that sits with me. I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. And in case you didn't know, he wasn't a fan of that lifestyle choice. Another lifestyle choice he wasn't too keen on was the homosexual lifestyle choice. You haven't made the decision to be a homosexual yet, have you, Bunny?
First of all, none of your goddamn business. Second of all, choice. Why would I choose to have an idiotic conversation with every person in society? A person's sexuality is no one's business but their own. Unless you are sucking their dick, it's none of yours. Well, like you had to come out and tell everybody you like to have your dick slammed in a doorway while watching people shit on each other. I think that is much weirder than having two men who love each other have sex. But you know what? It's none of my business. That is yours, and I am not allowed to judge you for it. And it's not your business to tell people imaginary people hate them because of who they are.
Damn, you stupid ass giraffe. This bunny's got claws.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm really sorry, Bunny. I didn't mean to offend you. I hope someday we can be friends and laugh about this.
Moore, I do not need shade from some ignorant ex-giraffe. I am a star, in case you did not know. Since it's your birthday, Mr. Moore, I figured I'd sing you a little demo of Marilyn Monroe's Happy Birthday.
That's very nice, Bunny. That's very nice, but it's not my birthday.
Happy birthday
I don't think he's gonna stop.
to you.
Okay,
Happy
well,
birthday.
okay, alright, well,
Mr.
kids, we'll see you
President.
next week.
Happy
I think it's time for you to
birthday
go home.
to
Fill your
you.
hump with water or
Oh
something before you
my
dehydrate.
Birthday.
Sir, I am a zebra for the last
Happy birthday to you.
I don't even hear what you're saying right now.
Happy birthday, Mr.
See you guys next time.
President.
What's that thing on your
Happy
back?
birthday to you.
Josh. How to Music with Josh. It's time for How to Music with Josh. Tips with Josh. How to Music with Josh. I'll show you today how to just do a quick roll. You got this big ass symbol here. Hit it real hard, it does a lot of cool things for you. That sounds neat, doesn't it? Cool. Tips with Josh. How to Music with Josh.
Back when I used to play metal, a lot of what I listened to at the time was like In Flames, Arch Enemy, Dark Tranquility.
Oh yeah.
That's a
Soil
huge
Work.
one for me. Both
Yeah.
of those.
Definitely Monomarth. Monomarth.
So did you know that an asteroid or meteoroid wrecked into the Appalachian Mountain, causing a gap, which caused a traverse? Yeah,
Any link to dinosaurs?
possibly.
So is that the only asteroid in the United States?
It's I think there's also one in Arizona, but that's another story.
Okay.
But
All right, man.
But anyway, so like when settlers were coming in, most of the Ohio territory was swampland. And did you know Ohio actually got its name, Ohio, from a Native American word for Great River?
No. Okay.
Or Great River, Little River, whatever. But yes, it's based on the Native American language. But anyway, so when Ohio settlers from the eastern side of the United States were settling in, they started hunkering down. So Ohio was very swampy. So they had to like chop all that trees down to make like settlement possible.
So are you saying a lot of towns may just be built on like a bunch of trees?
A bunch of trees, a bunch of swamp.
Really?
Yeah.
See, because I always thought of Louisiana as swampland kind of thing. Ohio started out as a swamp.
Well, have you heard of the Black Swamp?
No.
That's Ohio. And if you look on the flag, because another interesting thing about Ohio is that we're one of two countries, or if you want to call Ohio a country. And again, I'll get to that later.
It's apparently not.
But Nepal is not a rectangular shape, as well as Ohio. It's the only two flags in the whole world that have non-rectangular flags.
But do they even fly the flags in like a world setting?
They do. Well, not Ohio, but maybe.
The United States. So
yes,
Nepal's the only thing showing up at like the UN with
exactly.
a weird shape.
But Turtle, if you like look at the flag and you see that big old O looking thing on the left, that's also represents Ohio, like the O of Ohio. It's like a Buckeye, what a Buckeye nut looks like, as well as supposed to represent the Black Swamp, because it was just such a massive swamp.
The Black Swamp.
I'm
So
dead
the
serious.
big
Look it up.
Block O that we got is the Black Swamp.
The Black Swamp.
I think I'm gonna start calling the football team that. People are gonna get mad at me. No, you don't even know, man. You know that big O you got? That's called the Black Swamp.
The Black Swamp, Ohio.
I know it's red, but
Black Swamp University.
We love watching Bill Murray be a jackass through this whole movie. But could you imagine being in that group of soldiers with him? Wouldn't you beat him with soap at some point? That's the thing. That's the thing that I wish would happen. Instead, I think this movie, after they graduate, falls apart a little bit. I don't like the second halfway as much as I like it up till they graduate. I think they could have ended it there, honestly. But what they should have done is threw them into a serious war type Full Metal Jacket. There's people dying, Ox dies, something.
Oh my
like that.
God!
Could you imagine that?
That would be amazing.
Christ, why?
Yeah. No, it would be amazing. We're just the most unprepared group of
Dark
troops, and they just
turn.
get mowed
Oh
down.
my God!
Dark turn.
It's like Caddyshack meets Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, Bill Murray's like in some water holding
But I
Harold
kind of want to
Ramis.
see it now.
Pushing his intestines back in. You're gonna be fine.
He has one of those little shots. He just sticks him with it.
I wanted to know your guys' opinion because this happens to me on a regular basis. I don't know how often you guys use public restrooms, but I use one all the time at work. You're in there, the door's locked, right? You're taking care of business, you know, like you do. Yeah. And then someone comes up and they try to open it. Okay, but not only that, then they follow it up.
With the knock.
What is that?
Why?
Why is that?
I agree.
Because then what that is forcing me to do is while I'm already doing something, now I've got to fucking talk to you through a door. Which I'm always like 1 minute or whatever, but I really want to say taking a shit. I'm literally taking a shit. What do you want me to say to you? Hello, my name's Aaron. I live here in Kenton. What's your name, sir or madam? Are you a madam?
Maybe they want to know time. Yeah.
Are you bi?
Or
2 turds to go. Give or take.
Have you ever had them do this? Anybody in there? No! The fucking door locks by itself sometimes. This is the toilet talking to you. Dipshit. Yeah. I don't understand that. I never do that. You know what I do if I jiggle a handle and it's locked? I fucking run away. My anxiety's like, oh my God, what if they see me waiting here for them? I would not want somebody to be waiting here while I walk past them after I take a shit. You always want to say something like, sorry about that, you know? But it's like, this is a human interaction that happens all the time. And if you do this, fucking stop. If you jiggle the handle to a public bathroom and it doesn't, and it's locked, move on. If there's a dead guy in there, they'll find him eventually. I mean, what's the other thing? It's locked because someone's dead in there, ultimately, if you don't get a response. But have you ever had anybody waiting on you outside of the bathroom?
Yeah.
That's really weird, man. It's really weird. Yeah, or the people that don't lock it behind them. Have you ever walked in on somebody?
No.
You don't lock a stall behind yourself?
Thank God.
Hello. Hi, how are you? I just saw you sitting on a toilet like a delicate little girl. How are you doing today? I just saw you at your most vulnerable. I could have killed you right there. I could have fucking bum rushed you and choked you out right there on the toilet. And no one would ever know.
At least if you would have scared the shit out of them, they would have been.
You're like, whoa! And they're.
I've waited here for you ever long. Tonight I throw myself into, and out of the red, out of her head she sang. Away with me, down with me. Oh, how you wanted it to be. I'm over my head, out of her head she sang. And I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever feel this real forever, if anything could ever be this good again. Only thing I'll ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say when she sang. And now I know you've I say. And I wonder when I sing along with you, if everything could ever feel this real forever. If anything could ever be this good again. The only thing I'll ever ask of you, you gotta promise not to stop when I say you will. She sang.
This last set of accusations and unfortunately some proof is against Jim Cornette and his wife Stacy. Stacy, of course, used to work in OVW as Sin. They had a group called the Disciples of Sin, of which Batista was an original member, by the way. Just a little trivia there. I like to throw a little bit of trivia in the middle of the horrible accusations. Yeah, they're being accused now of sexually harassing people. Stacy is supposedly using her connections to the Kentucky Athletic Commission to target particular wrestlers, using her husband's position as one of the owners of OVW at the time, using Cornette to use OVW contracts as leverage to get younger talent to sleep with his wife while he watched. Again, I'm not making that up. Now, you can say what you want, but Beautiful Bobby didn't put up with that shit. Now, this is twofold here. As far as Stacy having sex with this guy or that guy, that's between her, Jim, and whoever's holding the hamster. I don't care. That's their business, all right? Have sex with whoever you like. I don't give a shit, all right? I'm not here to be a Puritan. I don't give a shit. Now, that said, if it's true that Cornette and his wife were using their respective positions, no pun intended, with the company to make this kind of weird shit happen, now that's a different ball game. And, it's one thing to be like, hey, swingers or doing threesomes or whatever the hell you do in your own bedroom. I don't care. But if you're using your position in the company that you own to get people to sleep with your wife, like I said, wrestlers, and this has come from a couple wrestlers. This one guy is this AKI Evolution or something like that. It's AKI, of course, was the AKI, the Aki engine that was used in a lot of like the No Mercy and things like that. So it's like this random account. I don't know. So that seems weird. But then there's also backup from a guy who used to wrestle for OVW, who was a former OVW champion, who was wrestling there. He backs up the story and says something very similar, that Stacy tried to recruit him into whatever freaky deaky shit they were doing, and that he turned him down. Then this original account talks about how she was slashing tires and sending him explicit pictures, trying to entice him to sleep with her. Again, while she's married to Jim Cornette. And I'm not saying that it's true. I'm sort of the opposite of the Matt Riddle thing. Because Matt Riddle, like, his explanation made sense. You're like, oh, I'm gonna lean a little toward Matt Riddle. This one, I'm gonna lean away from Jim Cornette and his wife, because this guy has screenshots. This AKI Evolution, or whatever the hell he is, he has screenshots of these conversations. And not only conversations, he's got pictures. I mean, they're Twitter safe. There's no nudity, but it's explicit, man. It's explicit enough. PG-13. It's getting there, and he's got pictures, and it's clearly her. And the language she's using it's really hard to misinterpret. So, yeah, I'm sort of leaning toward him on this. And it's a random AKI Evolution account or whatever. I mean, I'm leaning toward it. The fact that he has these now, Jim Cornette, who people got their thing. I don't agree with everything he says, but I like Jim Cornette. I like in general. I like the fact that when he just smacks some idiot down. I like that. I really do. I don't agree that you need to have the same wrestling you had in 1975, but at the same time, I think he's right on some guys. But he comes out and he said something on Twitter about how the screenshot couldn't be real. It was Photoshop because the profile picture in the images were of a profile picture that was only updated a day or two ago. And that's fine. And then someone pointed out, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense, except someone pointed out that if you have a message, no matter how old that message is, when you access that message, Facebook updates the profile photo to the current profile image.
My birthday's coming up Saturday. I'm going to be 35 years old. 30.
That is crazy.
I know, right? And it's just, I've been spending this last week. People are like, "Aren't you excited? Your birthday's coming up." And for the last 5 years, I haven't been excited when it's been my birthdays. And this is the reason is that I'm getting older. I still haven't found a career or a job that I like. I have to have, share an apartment still. You would think that, like, if you go back in time to 16 years old, you would tell yourself that by 35, you probably have your own house and 2 kids. And
So you're saying your 15-year-old self would kick your ass right now?
no, I think my 15-year-old self would just would actually be happy because I haven't had any children, I don't have any responsibilities, and I play video games all the time still. The only thing he would be mad about is that I still constantly masturbate. He would probably figure at this point I'd at least have a person to throw it into once in a while.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that does take place. But, so your 15-year-old self's like, sweet,
right?
We can still be selfish.
Right.
We dodged a lot of bullets out there.
Yeah, like he wants to. I think he would high-five me if I could go back in time, like I was telling you earlier, travel back in time and get out like Doc Brown style out of the DeLorean and be like, Randy, you got to shape up in the future. Well, what's wrong? My kids are shitty. And I'd be like, no, we don't have kids. We would both high-five.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so that's cool. Boy, I don't like kids.
And
but anyways,
not to any of our fans out there that have children.
Oh no, your kids are great. I'm
your
sure
kids they're great.
Snowflakes.
Excuses you tell yourself that you ruined your life.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that your life's just exactly the way it should be.
Yeah, right.
So good for you.
Way to ruin your life.
Yeah. I'm sure when you go to a restaurant that and you bring all of your kids with you, that people are really excited about it.
Yeah, like it's funny. You guys post all your little pictures of your kids on Facebook, and I'm just gonna start posting my disposable income.
I'm just gonna start posting wadded up tissue pictures.
Killed another one.
Yeah, and I might
that one's name was Francis.
I might get like those little basketballs that come for like the Barbie, like athletic Barbie, and set it next to the wadded up tissue, and it'll be like, here's Timmy playing soccer. Or playing basketball. Here's Ricky bouncing those balls. His first ball. Put a little pair of glasses on. Oh, I had to take him to get the eye doctor today.
Has astigmatism.
Probably because he was born premature. Ejaculation.
Right. Went off in my hand. I was cleaning it.
And then if I could get a moment of silence for all the millions of Randys that got swept down the drain in the great flood of this morning.
I like to take a minute. I'd like to take a minute to thank Kleenex.
Yeah, for being so soft.
Soft, right?
Yeah, doesn't hurt my Peter.
Not to everything. I just want to thank Johnson & Johnson's baby shampoo for No More Tears too.
And I'd also like to thank him for having a really cool name.
Yeah, my dad is actually the chief of police here in the town I live in. So, like, I feel like I've seen both sides of the fence, Right. And
my dad was a cop for 27 years.
Well, sweet dude, small fucking world, right? So you know how it is.
Exactly.
Like that, you automatically become special. You do. You become special. You don't get involved in none of the parties.
You get a little bit more arrogant when you talk to cops too.
Yeah, I mean, you can be, but if you go outside that town where your family is,
keep your mouth shut.
You'll find out real quick you ain't shit.
Or like for me, when I was in high school and even in college, where I knew the cops. Well, now it's a bunch of fucking young ones that are trying to prove that you walk up to the cruiser thinking it's one of the people and they're like, "Sorry, get away, do not step in there." Like, okay, not gonna talk. All right, cool, see ya.
That actually happened. Yeah, that actually happened to me 2 days ago because I'm trying to get them to be more involved in the community in a positive way, like join the 3-on-3 basketball tournament here in Richwood in August. But one thing that stuck with me is I'm not going to say his name because I really didn't care for him at the time, but when the shootings was going on. And he said one thing, he just killed it. He replied to me and he said, "You know what, Josh? There is bad cops like there's bad factory workers."
Yeah.
Touche, man. Touche.
There's bad people.
And it's always stuck with me,
Right.
There's bad people in every vocation, I would think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I have such an odd feeling towards the police in general, just because every day if I get pulled over, my car's gonna get tossed. They're gonna look through it. They fucking always do.
Oh yeah.
Every time. There's never been. There's never been a
Oh
time they
no.
have.
I guarantee when I get pulled over, my drug charges from my past show up, and you know, but at the same time, you know, that changes. That shows people can evolve when you can say, you know, when's the last time you caught a drug charge? 10 years ago, you know.
Right.
So no, I try to respect them, and I do as much because I found out and I'll have an interesting story about Marysville police. They actually thought I was a fugitive because someone called me and I got felony stopped, the gun pointed at me and everything. I had my 2-year-old daughter in the car.
Wow.
My 2-year-old daughter was in the back seat in the car seat.
Shit.
You know, it's up to you. Do you want to hear it or?
Sure. Yeah, lay it on me.
So this happened in Marysville, 15 minutes from where my dad's the chief of police, right? So I go to the daycare that my daughter is after work in Marysville. I pick her up. I guess the neighbor said that I resembled a fugitive of someone in Marysville, Ohio, that kidnapped his girlfriend and held her hostage and sexually abused her and beat her up and just a real monster, right? Well, I'm pulling in to get my girlfriend from work, and I see cops in my rear view down, you know, like a half a mile with the lights on. And I'm like, oh shit. And I get out the way. I pull into the parking lot. Well, these fools follow me. You know what I mean? And and I look in the rear view, and there's a bunch of cops with guns pointed at me. And I'm like, what the hell did I do? Right? Like, holy shit. And the very first thought was, all right, Josh, don't get yourself shot. Do what they say, right? They say, put your hands up. Damn it, put your hands up. Yeah. Let them do their thing. So they, you know, felony stopped me, you know, put your hands out of the car, step backwards, you know what I mean? You know, get down on your knees, put your hands behind your back, lay down. And they did their whole thing. My girlfriend comes out of work, which is now my fiance, and she is livid. My 2-year-old daughter, I'm like, you better chill out. These are police. You know what I mean? Like, and they're on, like, you got to stop. You know what I mean? So eventually, of course, they knew who I was eventually after I gave them my social and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And they let me go.
Did they apologize?
And I ended up just, well, you know, they did. But I told them, I was like, you guys owe me one now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, you better get in this basketball tournament, damn it. You know what I mean? Like, come on. It's protect and serve. Don't forget the second part. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but that was a pretty crazy. That was the first time we was just actually talking about it tonight. And I was like, dude, I kind of felt badass, you know? Like, I'm living in a movie. I'm kind of a badass because I know I didn't really do nothing, but at the time I was like, "Did I do something?" You know what I mean?
Well, I was with.
What did you find out about?
I was with Jason one time remember that when you got pulled over at your house when you were living at your parents and the cop.
You were with me?
Yeah, I was with you.
Yeah.
And you pulled in and you opened your door and you got out to like go inside.
I had to pee. I was driving home really fast because I had to pee. He pulls me over like right in front of my house, and I opened up the door. And he didn't like that one bit.
Oh no! He opened.
But that's not even, that ain't nothing. Me and my brother we went camping in Hocking Hills, and I took a BB gun with me, air cartridge BB gun.
Oh yeah.
And it was like 2 a.m, and the state
trooper,
the park rangers.
Oh,
they come back through the camping sites, doing a little round or check. And Gary, my brother, has his gun held up in the air. He's shooting at it. He's shooting at a rope that it was tied to a tree, and he was just seeing if he could hit the rope.
Oh, okay.
So the next thing, the thing before we knew it, out of nowhere, like, put your hands up. Ohio Park Rangers, get your hands in the air. They're like screaming at us. And and Corey was with us, and he's deaf, so he couldn't hear what they were saying. He had no idea, and he wasn't putting his hands up. They're like screaming at him.
Oh my God.
One had a shotgun, and one had a pistol.
Why do they have these weapons?
Well, no, I mean
they're park rangers.
Yeah, they're police.
Right.
I mean, I
But
guess
they said they thought they heard
deer get
dry
rowdy.
fire. They thought they heard dry fire, and when they looked, they could see that Gary had a freaking pistol in the air. So they they were cool about it afterwards. And then I was like, I'm telling you, I got to give you guys props because I didn't hear a twig break. I didn't hear nothing. They had to come down a little path to get to our campsite.
Yeah.
And I didn't hear nothing. They were on top of us and without us. I was like, you guys did a great job. That was terrifying to turn around and have guns pointed at you. It's 2 a.m. They got a fire going. I'm chilling out, and the next thing I know, I got a shotgun pointed at me. Like, wow.
It makes you wonder if they have some sort of special training. Like, listen, guys, you're never gonna catch anybody. They're gonna hear you coming with these twigs and shit. You gotta move.
I figure probably a lot of them are like ex-military, so I'm sure they're well trained in that.